That's like saying, you know what I love? Herpes. It's one of those things you don't hear a lot. I am a grown-ass man. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the MURCA Guns and Freedom podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. As always, this is just an open chat where you set the tone. You decide what we talk about. So send me whatever question you want. Suggest whatever topic you want to suggest. And remember, I'm not the only one that can answer. There's lots of people in the chat that might have the answer if I don't. So feel free to talk amongst yourselves out there as well. As always, I like to open the chat with reading the names of people who have purchased merchandise over the last 24 hours to help support TYMP, and right now the pets and vets too, because a lot of the product does support pets and vets. So I want to read Anthony Blevins, Toby Pearson, Evan Griggs. I like when I see names I don't recognize. John Flacco. I don't recognize that name. John Flacco. I would have made fun of that like crazy if I'd have seen that name before. Chris Paul, Clinton Barella, and Sean Bain. So thanks to every one of them for purchasing some merchandise. When there's that many people, though, that was several people. I don't have time to read what they bought, but that's probably good for them. They probably don't like their privacy invaded. I go and get on here and invade everybody's privacy. Let me get over to, we don't got to read any new patrons or subscribe star people today. We didn't get any new ones. We just lost. So don't have to do that. Remember, if you want to help support the channel, you want to become a Patreon member, a subscribe star member. If you want to support the channel in any way, or you want to sign up to be a recipient of TYMP, you can do all that stuff from TYMPpistolproject.com. That's my website. Going over there. You can also, there's a link there to go over to Shopify and get cool pro gun shirts like Pete's Grindhouse. This is a mashup between Steamboat Willie and Planet Terror. I love doing the mashups. I don't have a lot of them, but I really like when I can do them. So going over there, get you some shit and support the puppies and the TYMP and whatever else I'm blabbing about. All right, let's get over here and see if there's any questions coming in. I think most of these are orders. But let's see. Yeah, that was an order. What is today? Today's the 3rd. Gerald Pompa did a donation. Didn't say anything, though. That's an order. That's an order. Dale Rickety chimed in and said, what did he say? I got nothing. He's got something. He's got a Jamaican nurse, I think. So someone's got to feed him his pudding. Christopher Jones chimed in. I think he did this because I said it's rare I get a $20 check. He's trying to prove me wrong. All hail Phil, 38 special, standard pressure, 100 grain, Underwood Extreme Defender, or should I do the wad cutter thing? Now give me that Pico. Oh, that's right. I forgot to mention we are doing the double super secret Pico giveaway. I did a video on it today. As you can see, I found the extended magazine. I found the case it goes in. I've got the box for it, everything. As you saw in the video, it's in pristine condition. Like I said, it's probably next to the Sea Camp, the best pocket gun you could have. I wish they still made it. It's an awesome little gun. And a lot of people in the video are weighing in with their positive experiences with the gun and calling me stupid for dry firing such a small gun. But no, I would stay with, I'm not a big wad cutter fan. A lot of people love wad cutters, but I'm not a big fan of wad cutters for self-defense. The thing wad cutters are best for, in my opinion, is target shooting because they leave such perfect little holes. It looks like you went up and took a punch, paper punch to it. I like that. That's cool. But other than that, not a whole lot of reason for wad cutters, in my opinion. I mean, I'm sure there are reasons for them, but I don't really care for them. That's the way I should say that, I guess. Salvador Verga. You could just get yourself a 357 Magnum and solve the problem. I said, he just said TYMP. He didn't tell me he was going to be here today, so I don't know if he's here or not. If he did, I didn't see it. That's an order from Clinton Barella. And then we got Officer Tater Hater chiming in. I sent you a few updates I saw. I can see WAP News does not like my raunchy humor. Please put it up in the chat. I didn't see what you're talking about. What are you talking? Resend me whichever one you're talking about. I saw the one that you sent me about the settling the case with the people over the Goon Squad stuff. What is this? I don't think they like me much because they actually removed my comment. Oh, okay. No, I'm not showing that. That's vulgar. That's why they removed it probably. That was dirty. Just so people know. Kevin Mabry chimed in and said, for Phil, he's paying his Phil tithes so he don't get his ass in trouble and hopefully helps keep my ass out of the fire. Clinton Barella just got a bunch of entries into the double super secret Pico giveaway. He's trying to win twice in a row. He's trying to pull a John Heasley. He's trying to pull a John Heasley because he won 2 guns in a row. What a jerk. You know, how dare he do that? Let's win some Beretta Pico salsa. The other day he called it Pico de something, Pico de Pio or Pico de Papa. I don't know. And it turns out that's just salsa. Which I like salsa if it's good salsa. I don't like canned salsa. Not a fan. Not a fan of the canned salsa. Or the jarred. I mean, there's some in the jars that's good, but it's all so runny. It's got so much liquid in it. I like salsa that's kind of like, it looks like chopped up vegetables more than it does. It doesn't look like soup. Let's just say that. I'm not a big fan of the salsa that looks like soup. I don't mind it being a little runny, having some more water to it, but not soup. I don't want soup on my tortilla. I want salsa. Am I alone in that? Am I the only person that feels that way? I can't be. Oh my God, that's a cute. Oh, that's adorable. I'll have to show that in a minute. Someone just sent me an email picture of a puppy. But where was I? I was reading Clinton Barella's, and he said something about let's win some Pico. Then Johnny Mandrich chimed in and says, has Pam Bondi given you reason to think the GOA will start supporting 2A? No, not yet. Everything they've done is just, smoke up your ass shit. I mean, no, they ain't done nothing. It's very clear they've sat down and goes, well, we don't really want to do anything, but we got to make the stupidest voters think we're doing something. So let's put out some meaningless bullshit that they won't bother to see if it does anything. Seems like to me they're doing a very concentrated effort to put out some meaningless bullshit. Because why would you do meaningless bullshit if you were actually doing something real? It's like people that are really putting out's not the word. People that are really performing don't have to put on fake performances to make you think they're doing what they're supposed to. Like you don't have to look busy when you're actually busy. On the topic of no round in the chamber, I think it's a good idea for first timers to get a revolver to build up that confidence if the go semi, they still have a wheel gun like a real man. And if they go semi, I think is what he meant to say. Well, I think they just get a revolver, period. Solves the problem. And then not worry about anything else. Why would you, if you start off on a revolver, why would you want to downgrade? I don't understand why people would down. I can understand starting off on semi-automatics and moving into a revolver once your balls have dropped and you got enough hair on your chest to handle it. No offense, Clinton Seattle, because I don't know if she carries a revolver. She might. But or Karen Woodson, although she ain't been here lately because she's taking care of family. But why would you downgrade? I don't understand. Never have understood that. That was Jay Lugo. Then Coral chimed in, says, short of replacing my Glock 29 with something better, are there any fixes like for failure to feed or LPS? I did replace trigger with a Timothy trigger, and now I have issues. If you just replaced a part in your gun and now you're having issues, the issues have probably come from not putting something back correctly or bending something or fucking something up. the first thing I would check, you know, that little connector or disconnector or whatever it's called on the side. If that gets bent in the slightest, you'll start having problems. So I would check that out. But yeah, if you've just installed something and you never had any problems with it before, and now you're having problems with it, well, it's not great detective work to figure out that it's probably the amount of modifications you did. So double check everything, make sure you got it right, and then see where you are from there. But yeah, it's probably something you did. So your best advice would be take it back apart or put the old trigger back in it. See if it works fine. If you put the old trigger back in it, it works fine. Well, then it may not just be the way you installed the trigger. It might be the trigger itself. Where was that? Thomas Ryder Electric. I think that's a business, not a person, but I'd hate to think that's his actual name. Thomas Ryder Electric. Check out those new 45 Colt Anacondas on Colt's website. Hopefully plus P rated. I didn't see any new 45s on Colt's site. Now I got to go over and look. Colt revolvers. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh. No. My heart hurts a little bit. Now I got to spend money. I don't know who hasn't looked yet, but they got 2 and 3 inch blue pythons over there now. And 5 and 8, but who gives a fuck about those? Oof. They got a 3 inch blue python. That hit me right in the gut. Because I already wanted to get something else. But now, I don't know. That's a horrible thing to do. Who the fuck just sent me that? Thomas Ryder Electric. Oh my God. He said anacondas though. I didn't look at the anacondas. Let's see. What was their new anaconda was? Oh yeah, the 45 Colt anacondas. I'm sure they're rated for plus P because I'm sure they're every bit as strong as the 44 Magnums. I'm not as psyched about those because, you know, I've got a 44 Magnum. I don't know why. I kind of want a 45 Colt one. But there's 2 inch and 3 inch pythons blued. You're a horrible, horrible person. Let me get back to the chat here. And there's that asshole. John Mandrich chimed in. John Mandrich's not the asshole. Thomas Ryder Electric, whatever his weird ass name is. Any advice on pulling dent from a plastic quarter panel? Plastic quarter panel? Well, the bad thing about plastic, it's not going to have the same memory as metal. So it probably stretched when it bent. If that's the case, if it stretched when it bent, you're not going to have a lot of luck. But same advice for any other, just pop it out. Get you a good suction cup, slap it on there, pop it out. Make sure you heat it before you do, like pour hot water on it. Don't use them. I've seen people using heat guns and ruin their paint and ruin their, no, use hot water. Just pour some hot water on it. Have someone pour the hot water on it slowly as you're popping it out. But be very careful if it's plastic. Because like I said, you don't want to stretch anything yourself. But it should pop out. As long as it wasn't bad and isn't stretched, and you should be all right. That was Johnny Mandrich. That was the last one over there. Then we got a super chat over here, a 36-month WAP chat from, do you think a 380V crown out of a Beretta Cheetah would go through? I think he says go to a windshield, but I think he needs to go through a windshield. I guess it would really depend. It would depend a lot on how you hit it, but it should go through. I mean, it's the same size as a 9mm, so you're not dealing with a really large bullet. It's going to be similar in speed, probably to a 45 ACP. So I would think it would probably penetrate. Whether it would do much after it went through would be the question. Now, 9mm, the problem with most 9mm through windshields is they tend to, especially if it's a hollow point, they splinter, they fragment. They lose a lot of accuracy, they deflect, they fragment. And a lot of that's because of the speed. They fragment really badly because of how fast they're going. The 380 might not fragment as bad. It might actually stay on a trajectory a little better, depending on what round you're shooting. I'd have to actually do the testing, but I could form a hypothesis that it might actually go through and stay more in one piece. But then again, it might just bounce off. I don't know. I'd have to actually do the testing. I don't see it bouncing off. I mean, I've seen 25 ACP penetrate windshields and stuff before if you hit it right. So I think it would go through, and I would love to see if it splinters, if it fragments less, or does it just lose so much momentum that it's just, you go ow when it hits you on the other side. That would be some testing need to be done. All right, I can get to Coral also said hail Phil and screw YouTube. And he gave YouTube money to say that. So he wants them to see it, I guess. I agree. Screw YouTube. Let me make sure we're all caught up on the super chats here, and then we'll get to the emails. All right, let's get to the emails. Present, share screen, Winder. This is where I said he's a weirdo. Emmanuel Fernandez says, I even carry inside the sauna at the gym. So I put my 380 in a Ziploc bag and it stays dry. Well, that would work. Here's a better idea. Stay out of the fucking sauna at the gym. What are you? Some sort of freak? Who needs to get in a sauna? Oh, he held up in front of him there. Didn't need to see his face. At least he covered most of it. He's got some decency. Let's see here. Next email we got coming in. Share screen, Winder. There's the puppy picture. Oh my God, look at this. Look at this. This is from Ben Coors. Oh, pick one of Cousin's border collie Aussie pup. Look at that. Oh my goodness, he's adorable. And he's a golfer, it looks like. Isn't he adorable? Then we got another one here from George Powell. He said, I wear cargo shorts, pants. You look like a giant toddler. And this speed loader easily fits in a pocket. It's huge. It works extremely well, but that's like carrying an old Maglite flashlight in your pocket. Just line it up with the cylinder and push. No knobs, 24 rounds of awesomeness. It's only got 18, right? Well, I mean, I guess you got 24 with your other gun. And he's showing off his new SDR he got. So he's being a little bit of a show off. But yeah, looks like it'd be like carrying a Maglite in your pocket. And I don't wear cargo shorts because I don't want to look like a grown-ass toddler walking around. Everyone looks like fucking like they shit their pants. And then we got Gummy Wuzzle. I don't know if you talked about the Colt Woodsman pics I sent. If you missed it, I must have missed it. I didn't see it. I was hoping to hear your thoughts on refinishing. No worries, though. My Smith & Wesson, I haven't seen one on the Woodsman's, but there's the 36 special. That's nice. They've just redone the Classic Series 36s. I want one. Those are nice. All right, now let's see. I think we're all through the super chats and the emails. Let me make sure that was the last email. It looks like it was. Make sure it's the last super chat. That was Johnny Mandrich was the last one. So, yep, that's the last one over there. So now I can get over here to the regular questions. Let's see. Are you saying bears aren't people? Yes, bears aren't people. They don't have constitutional rights. They don't get a vote or nothing. Scratching your ass isn't working with your hands. It is. Technically, that's not how my fingers got so dirty, though. I mean, I've got shorts on. Hello, Dwayne Douglas. What did he say? What advice you'll give to someone regarding what happened to you when you lost your gun in a bar fight? What do you mean? What advice would I give? Don't get in a fight. If you could at all, I think I've given that advice for. Yeah, don't do it. That'd be my best advice. Avoid fights at all costs when you're, especially, well, I really couldn't. You can't always avoid a fight, but unless you're willing to let your family get beat up, but still. And that guy was acting crazy. So, Arizona to replace school psychologists with chaplains. Indiana to ban SEL and ban school psychologists from providing behavioral counseling. Yeah, really stupid ideas. Really, really stupid ideas. Leonidas sent me a picture of a gorilla he do with, let me share it. This is more the style I would normally do, but I'm trying to do something a little different with my gorilla design. But he sent me a picture with one he drew with that gorilla. Although he looks a little angry. That gorilla's got anger management issues. Yeah, see, look at that. He looks mad. Looks like he didn't get enough sleep either. Not a good mix. Gorillas and angry gorillas and guns are not a good mix. Leonidas 1236 says, "Hey Yankee, did you get my email?" Well, I just showed it. Yes, so I guess I did. Yep. But that's the kind of monkey. That's more like what my normal style would be, because I usually draw very whimsically, but try not to on this one. Progressives want free pre-K. Do you agree? It's spring turkey season. You should try. I go back and forth on things like childcare, because here's the thing. No one makes you have kids. And here's the, if you can't afford to have kids, don't have kids. It's like I see these people on Instagram bitching about, oh, no free childcare. This is my big goal in my life. Is my destiny is to help, bring free childcare to everyone. And they've got like 9 kids. And I'm like, fuck, just quit having so many fucking kids. No wonder you want free childcare. And they're usually rich people who stay home with their kids. So, but they want to say that's their claim to fame, is that they're a champion for childcare. Did you do woodwork for the fame and fortune or joy? Joy, because there's no fame or fortune in woodworking. I don't know. Ask Sleepy Joe. He said it. I know he's not thinking right. He also thinks 9mm can blow your lungs out of your body. QAnon says there is wanton healing. I don't know what wanton healing is, but QAnon is make-believe for grown-ups. It's like fairy tales for grown-ups, angry grown-ups, disenfranchised grown-ups, grown-ups that don't have enough sense to do any research. I used to shoot Olympic grade rifle in high school. Have you ever shot Olympic grade guns? No. They're all kind of little sad, weird looking little guns. The single shots and all those things. What advice you give as it relates to bar fight? Oh, I saw that question already, and I don't get in one. Best pocket pistol or revolver? You skeet shoot, you sport shoot. I don't skeet shoot or sport shoot. I've always wanted to do skeet, but never have. It's something I think would be incredibly fun. But I think a couple of things that kept me from it. One, it never was really available to me, especially not growing up. It wasn't a big thing growing up. And now as an adult, I've always kind of veered away from it because I'm embarrassed to go there with my janky shotguns, my $500 shotguns, and they got their $12,000 skeet guns. And I'm like, I don't want to look bad. But the best pocket revolver, pocket pistol, well, the best was the Sea Camp. You can slip that thing anywhere. Doge Job Corps, a failed wasteful program. I don't know much about Job Corps. Europors think they have it better. Well, standard of living, they do have better standard of living than we do. depending on which country it is, sometimes substantially better. They take 3 vacations a year. They work less hours. They can afford more luxuries. They just, they got a better life because they aren't, being held down by the 1% who got to keep you one payday away from bankruptcy to keep you compliant. Sell federal land and reform zoning to solve housing, says Elon Musk. Yeah, Elon Musk's an idiot. Stop getting any advice from Elon Musk. Live in Cali, so only Gen 3 Glock available. Your thoughts on Model 35, including a 9mm barrel. This will be the only Glock. Well, I don't know what the Model 35 is for Glock. I'll have to look it up because I'm not up on the Glock nomenclatures. Let's see. Glock 35. Oh, God. I got to put in my birth date. It doesn't just ask me if I'm... I was born in 1672. Enter. There, let me in. Oh, that's the big long slide 40. That'd be awesome. I'd love to have one of them. I like to have a long slide Glock. And you can get a 9mm barrel for it. So, yeah, that would be awesome. But remember, this is not a sport group. This is encourage everybody to buy whatever they can buy. Thinking of EAA Bounty Hunter in 44 mag, would you prefer the Ruger Blackhawk? Don't think I can swing it dollars for the EAA. The Blackhawks are nice, but that EAA Bounty Hunter, are you talking about the black one with the octagonal barrel and the rail on top? Because that thing's fucking awesome. If that's the one you're talking of, I'd rather have that than the Blackhawk. That thing's fucking sweet. Sweet. Let me make sure we're caught up on everything here because we're about out of time. Yep, Johnny Mandrich was the last chat over there. Coral was the last one over here. Buffalo Boar Hardcast full wad cutters are definitely good for self-defense against people or dangerous animals. I carry them in a 44 Beasley Blackhawk. Well, yeah, but why would you want to go Buffalo Boar Hardcast and put more wear and tear on your barrel when you don't have to? When you can get better performance out of a different round. It's like I don't really see a good reason to go to wad cutters. Add your fiber supplement into the soupy salsa and don't pretend you don't have one. I don't take fiber supplements. I don't need it. I can poop quite easily. All I need is a cup of coffee in the morning and it's poop time. Usually about a half hour after. Although I don't take those types of supplements, but there's plenty of them in my house. Let's just say that. I shouldn't say that because I'll get in trouble. I got in trouble once today already. I was hearing back in the back, and it sounds like a fucking robot back there. And I said, "What is that fucking noise?" And then I got a speech about it's very telling that you don't know what the washer sounds like. That's the washer. And I was like, oh, well, why is it playing that music? To let us know the cycle's done. And I'm like, oh. And I got a speech about that, how I don't even know what the washer sounds like. Because I don't do laundry. I have in my life, I've done lots of laundry. When I was a kid, me and my sister did all the family's laundry. And that was when we didn't have a washer and dryer. We had to my mom would drop us off on a Sunday at the laundromat at like 6 o'clock in the evening and pick us up about 11 o'clock. So we would stay there the whole 5 hours and do laundry the whole time for the whole family. And it was a pain in the ass. Because usually you'd only get like 1 or 2 dryers, 1 or 2 washers. And it's just like pain in the ass. And my mom was meticulous about these get washed with these get washed with those, these get washed with these. You don't mix colors and whites. You don't mix like polyesters and cottons and all this other stuff. She was very meticulous about the laundry. And we had to hang things properly, fold things properly. So I was doing a lot of laundry in my life, and I don't want to do it now. And I ain't gonna. I'll take it to the dry cleaners first. Tortillo's chunky salsa is really good. Dump in a jar when making spaghetti sauce. I just would like that. I don't like it when it's soupy. DC Comics, Grod the gorilla versus 100 unarmed men. Who wins? Well, Grod has super gorilla strength. He's not just gorilla strength. He's got augmented strength. And he's also telepathic, so he's definitely going to win. And he can use weapons. He's definitely going to win. I've been pondering that question because, okay, you've got a full-grown male gorilla. You got 100 men. Even if we can believe that all 100 men are going to attack at the same time and not run away when he just literally slaughters everyone he touches. If there's no weapons involved, what are they going to do? Punch him? They're not going to be able to hit with enough force to bother him. It'll be like 1,000 mosquitoes versus, a pig. So they're not going to be able to harm him. They're not going to be able to choke him. Even if they got their arms around his neck, they're not going to be strong enough to choke him, especially not before he murders them. So I'm not sure he wouldn't go through all 100 men, to be honest. New York City, a man was sexually assaulted in a train packed with 100 witnesses. Nobody did anything. It was the Daniel Penny effect. Or maybe they were just all into it. Did you ever think of that? Maybe they were getting into it, or maybe this was planned. Maybe it was being filmed. I don't know. Bush goes viral at inauguration. Bush's heavy blonde daughter gets upset. Bush went viral at the inauguration? I didn't know that. A t-shirt maker became furious because I responded to his Bring Back Bullying t-shirt with Bring Back Bullying. Tell that to Austin Metcalf's family. Yeah, I don't like the whole idea that kids were tougher back when they were bullied. No, bullying's never been necessary for character development. People can develop good character when they have good parents. One of the reasons kids don't have as good characters because bad parents. And I would say kids' character today is better than kids' character when I was a kid. This whole notion that kids are weaker now and don't have good character, hell, they are way better characters than I was. They're far less racist. They're less hateful. They're less, all kinds of things. Now, they're lazier, but they were raised in an environment where, machines and computers do everything for you. But as far as character, I would say kids got better character nowadays than they did when I was a kid. And they even think bullying's bad. They don't want to bully somebody because they're like, why would you want to? Now, they're still bullies, but most kids are beyond that. They're more advanced than we were at that age. We're out of time. I just saw we're out of time. Let me make sure we're still caught up with everything. We're all caught up. Yep. And I think I read all the orders. Let me make sure over here in case I missed one. I think one came in during the thing, but I don't know if it did or not. It might have been something else because no, we got them all. We read Sean Bain and everything. So thanks everybody for coming. I appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who donates to the programs. Thanks to everybody who asks questions, keeps conversation rolling. Thanks to people who send emails to share pictures and stuff. It's appreciated. It makes the time go by faster. So thanks. I'll see everybody again tomorrow. Thanks for everything you do for the channel. Something else I was going to say, but I can't remember what it was. Nothing big. I guess we'll adjust our live chat schedules to where we go back to 7 on Wednesdays because Never Enough Family was doing that 5 o'clock show. So be ready for that on Wednesday. But tonight was Saturday. We were going to do the round table. I forgot. Oh, somebody needs to remind me. Maybe we'll try it tomorrow. Remind me tomorrow. We'll try it. But thanks everybody for coming. I'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.